Okay, so I have my two files. I've got my grid set up, and you can see if I go back to my XREF sheet, I drew a couple things in here, pipe, couple walls. That could be a surface, it could be anything. So do your drawing in here, whatever needs to be done at full scale, 1:1. And when you save your changes, you can go back to your sheet file. Click save, and I'll go back to my sheet file here. And I can just reload that X reference to get those changes. So I'm just going to go type xref. It pops up this dialog. Select the xref, select reload, and you should see the changes, whatever changes you've done to the drawing. Now here's something to note, is that as you can see, it looks a little bit faded in here, and that's actually a setting in AutoCAD. So if you go to, if you type options, and you go under the display tab in your options, fade control xref display is set to 70. I would just bring that back down a lot lower, maybe to like 20 or something, and click OK. So you should be able to see your xref geometry a little bit better. So there's two ways you can start labeling information. One is when you've set up the viewport, you want to make sure that you lock the viewport so it doesn't move around or change scales on you. Now you can put your text information on here, or you can do it inside in model space. I'm going to do it in model space, and we're going to set up a text style. So I'm going to go to draw text. Oh, hold on. I'm going to go to format and go to my text style. Here's my text style. Here's the default ones. I'm going to select standard, and I'm going to make that annotative. And the text height here is giving me an option of how large I want the text. Well, I'd like the text to be, let's say 3 millimeters. Let's say 4. Apply and close. Now, before I start adding text dimensions, it's important that we are using the same scale in here that we will be using in the viewport. Again, the viewport has been set to 1:500. So under model space, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to select 1:500. So now when I go to draw my text, multi-line text, I'm going to put 0, or this could be 1 plus, well, let's put 0. 0.00. Click OK. Now I like to change the justification of this, so I'm going to select it, and I'm going to scroll down to properties. You can't see that on the screen, but my properties window is going to pop up, and I'm going to say, instead of top left, I'm going to say maybe top center, and I'm just going to line that up with that edge of the grid. I'm going to bring it down a little bit, and I'm going to array this. I don't want it to be, I'm going to use the array command. Number of rows, same number of rows, columns, don't need 80. I'm going to put that down to 20. Column offset. Now if I don't know the distance, I can always pick it. As you can see, I can choose column offsets just by picking. So I'm going to pick that. And I will be going out to every 25 meters. So it's here. I'm going to select my object, just that, and I can preview it. And you can see it's all the same text, but we'll fix that up. At least we know that it's 25 meters. I will click enter. And there's the text for my bottom grid. Now, obviously this is not the labeling I want. I don't want 0 written all the way across. So there's actually a cool little Express tool you can use. You go to the Express menu, text, and you could say automatic text numbering. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight all this text, center, and now it's giving me an option whether to sort it by X, Y, or selection order. I'm going to say by X. And I have an option of how to start it, how to increment it. So I'm going to say start at 0, comma, and increment it by 25. I don't know if it'll take the decimal points, but we'll see if it does. 25. Placement of numbers and text. So what do you want to do? We're going to type O for overwrite. And press enter. Let's see what it did. So there we have it. It actually added all our numbering at the bottom. Now we can do the same thing for the vertical. The only thing is that when you do the vertical scale, you'll have to pick the text object. So again, I'm going to take the 0, move it over here. And I might want it to go up every meter. So I'm going to use the array command again. Number of rows, well, number of columns, I only need 1. Number of rows, let's try 31. Column offset, put that back to 1. The row offset, if I don't know, I can just pick the points that I need that to the next grid line. It's calculating it for me. Now I need to select the object. It's not letting me preview because I haven't picked an object yet. So I will pick this, preview it. Oh, looks good. I hit enter, and we're good. Now I want to increment this as well. I will use the same Express tool. Now it says select objects. So because it's vertical, what you're going to have to do is you're going to actually have to pick them in the order that you want. Almost done. Got them all. Enter. Now it says X or Y. I'm going to go by selection order because I actually want them to pick. And now my start and increment options. I'm going to actually go with, we'll assume it's 200 for the start elevation. And the increment is going to be 1. So I'm putting 200, comma 1. Press enter. It's giving me the option to overwrite. Prefix or suffix, so I'm going to say O for overwrite. 31 objects modified. So as you can see, there's my elevations now. Go to paper space. You can see that's how it looks. And I'll save.